Good morning, traders. This is Shane Scott, the moderator of Newsware's Trade Talk. At Trade Talk, we're providing you with the up-to-the-minute news on the market, along with the facts, themes, and short-term trading ideas for the day ahead. Joining me today is our trading anchor, Bill Olson, who brings over 30 years of institutional trading knowledge to our program. Let's get things started with our markets update. U.S. futures are mixed this morning, with S&P futures up 0.25%, Dow futures down 0.09%, and NASDAQ futures up 0.59%. The rally in global stock markets has extended into a third day as the retail trading frenzy died out, and companies like Amazon all the way to Vodafone have posted strong results. Tech saw big gains with NASDAQ 100 contracts climbing as earnings from Alphabet Inc. and Amazon impressed investors. Meanwhile, Russell 2000 index of small caps stocks dipped. Treasury yields have ticked higher following Senate Democrats putting President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion stimulus plan on the fast track to passage. Shares are back in rallying mode as the speculative trades popular with Reddit crowds take major drops, which has eased fears that they could lead to destabilizing swings in the stock market. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has summoned the U.S. financial regulators to discuss the recent market turmoil. GameStop and AMC have remained volatile in pre-market trading this morning as both continue to swing from losses to gains. Elsewhere in markets, oil has extended gains after closing at the highest level in more than a year, while silver steadied around $26 an ounce. Over in Europe, the Stock 600 index climbed 0.7%, with most sectors in the green as corporate results rolled in. Bill, what are you seeing as far as market updates this morning?
Been watching the futures on the S&Ps all day long. They've essentially been flat. They're up 0.32 all day. It's a very tight trading range. The move higher is essentially due to the positive earnings reports that came out from Google and Amazon. Both delivered strong reports yesterday. Amazon's price is being held back a little bit because Jeff Bezos announced that he's going to be giving up the CEO role. It's okay. He's still with the company. So I expect Amazon to see some price appreciation today off of that report. This afternoon, we got to watch for, a bunch of earnings that are coming out. eBay, Apps, GRUB, MetLife, Qualcomm, and more. And that oil prices, that's very interesting to me because we have the stockpiles report coming out this morning at 10:30, and there's an OPEC meeting, and they're going to be looking closely at the compliance state of the countries in the quotas that are part of the OPEC cartel. But it's all about earnings. You got to keep your eye on what's moving and what's going to be making big gains today.
Well, let's go ahead and move into earnings to watch today. But what type of earnings are we expecting?
Let's look at what we have on the tape here. We have, Qualcomm coming out this afternoon. They're due for a 5% move. QRVO, they're priced for a 6.3% move. eBay's priced for a 6.5% move. PayPal's priced for a 6.3% move. And Grubhub, that you're looking for a 10% move there. Amgen, they came out with earnings last night. They delivered a 42-cent beat on higher revenue. Electronic Arts, though, they missed by $2.24, but they did have higher revenue. Google delivered a beat of $6.40 on higher revenue, and Amazon delivered a beat of $6.86 on higher revenue.
How about insights as far as upcoming earning announcements?
Ticker QRVO, this is really interesting to me. These guys are ideally positioned to capitalize on the 5G growth, and they've performed pretty well recently. The strength in the Apple iPhone sales, it really does bode well for the stock. Earnings should be positive. The one caveat here is that Apple is talking about building their own chips. So in the report, you have to really pay attention to see if there is any mention of that in terms of their guidance. But I do expect a positive report coming out today from QRVO.
Well, moving into our economic reports, Bill, what type of reports are we expecting this morning?
At 8:15, you got the ADP employment report. At 8:30, there's a Treasury refunding announcement. That might be interesting. At 9:45, we have the PMI composite, the final, and at 10 a.m. this morning, we have the ISM Services Index being released. 10:30, of course, This is the big one. This is the EIA oil stockpiles reports, part of the Department of Energy. Um, if stockpiles goes down, that's very bullish for crude oil. So we could see additional gains in oil this morning. Uh, Lots of Fed speak going on this morning at 8:30. Minneapolis Fed Neil Kashkari speaking at 1 o'clock. You have St. Louis Fed Bank President James Bullard speaking at 2 o'clock. We have Philadelphia Fed Patrick Harper giving a speech, and then at 5, Cleveland Fed's Loretta Muster speaking, as well as the Chicago Fed Bank President Charles Evans, and then at 6:05. Dallas's Fed Bank President Robert Kaplan is speaking again, and he's been pretty active as of late.
Well, moving into our morning's critical insights, starting things off with Jazz Pharmaceuticals, ticker JAZZ. It's set to acquire GW Pharmaceuticals, ticker GWPH, for $7.2 billion. GW's share price is currently up 47.35% in pre-market. In other news, BioCryst Pharmaceuticals, ticker BCRX, announced that the FDA has approved a supplemental new drug application for its treatment for influenza in patients 6 months of age and older. BioCryst's share price is up 8.17% in pre-market. In other news, Veracyte, ticker VCYT, is set to acquire Decipher Biosciences for $600 million. Meritor, ticker MTOR, has entered into a 3-year agreement with Volta Trucks. So Meritor also announced today a 3-year supply agreement with another industrial EV company, Lion Electric. So Meritor's share price is up 18.87% in pre-market so far. One on Alibaba, ticker BABA, is gained 5% in pre-market this morning as Jack Ma has reportedly reached an agreement to restructure Ant Group's business, which will lead to the fintech firms becoming a financial holding company. So an official announcement could come before the start of China's Lunar New Year holiday next week. AstraZeneca, ticker AZN, after primary analysis of its phase 3 clinical trials from the UK, Brazil, and South Africa for its COVID-19 vaccine, it's confirmed that it protects up to 76% of patients after the first dose. So AstraZeneca's share price is up 0.26% in pre-market. Bill, what are you seeing as far as this morning's news?
Well, Shane, I break my news down into specific sectors and to specific events. That way I can really jump on the hot moving stories, before the real price action comes in. This morning, Apple, they're planning to invest $3.6 billion. This investment's going to be in Kia in their electronic vehicle collaboration. So that's kind of a good news for both companies. Amazon, I'm seeing multiple price target upgrades this morning. Same with Google. There are multiple price targets hitting the tape this morning. I look at my Dow Jones 30 alert. 3M, they announced plans to raise their quarterly dividend to $1.48. And that's pretty good. I mean, 3M seems to be back on track. And, in terms of Goldman Sachs, Rare Earth just hired them to explore a stock listing in New York. And also, from what I've read, that Robinhood IPO is apparently moving forward. And guess who's one of the bankers for Robinhood? Goldman. So this is these guys really make a lot of money when it comes to the IPOs. In buyback alerts, ticker BIIB, they expect to use a portion of the remaining share repurchasing authorization of $4.6 billion throughout the 2021 year. So they're going to be buying back stock all year long. I have a good stock split one here. This is Sherwin-Williams, ticker SHW. They just announced a 3-for-1 stock split this morning. I want to bring to your attention Scott's Miracle-Gro, ticker SMG. These guys just reported their first ever fiscal first quarter profit in sales. Sales reached a record. They're expecting the fiscal full year 2021 sales to grow somewhere between 1% and 6%, which is up from the previous guidance from flat to 5%. So Scott's Miracle-Gro is going to be interesting today. I have this dividend alert that I followed. Ticker FCX, Frank Charlie X-Ray. This is Freeport McMahon. They just reinstated their cash dividend on their common stock at an annual rate of 30 cents. But the big story here is that this is one of those stocks that's really an economic barometer. When the economy starts doing good, FCX starts to rise. So you want to keep your eyes on ticker FCX throughout the next quarter. And that's what I'm seeing from my alerts this morning, Shane.
Well, moving into our trade talk picks for today, I'm picking GW Pharmaceuticals. It's ticker GWPH. It's huge news that's getting picked up for $7.2 billion by Jazz. Its share price is up quite a bit already in appreciation, up 47.35%. And, let's keep in mind that the share price is moving up to $200 per share. So it's already exceeded that, by about $17 or so. So it's one that I think we can see some value in if we get it at a lower price. If we wait till a little bit after open, see it take some dip, then it could be one that could definitely see some appreciation again, can rise back up. So I'm looking at one on those conditions. Another one I'm looking at is Meritor, ticker MTOR, one we spoke about as well. It's got 2 3-year supply agreements it's made with 2 different EV companies, and it's seeing some momentum on it. Its share price is already up 18.87% in pre-market, fluctuating between that and 15%. And this one as well is one that I could see moving up a couple points. So these are my 2 picks for today. What's yours looking like, Bill?
Well, Shane, I was walking around looking for something that I really think would provide the best value, and I have analysis that I walk through, and I kind of like SBH. This is Sally Beauty Supply. This ticker SBH, I think they're gonna run today into earnings. The option flow was positive yesterday, and that's really what got me a little bit interested in the stock. I'm not planning on really holding it into earnings, but I do think that you could see some positive movement today in anticipation of the actual event. So my ticker is SBH today. I'm probably looking to get in at little under 1550 this morning.
Well, moving into what's hot off the press, this is the news that's hitting the tape as we speak that will be moving the stocks today. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So, Bill, looking at our newsware alerts and seeing all the headlines that are streaming in, which are the ones we should be letting traders know about?
Well, let's start off with one that just came out a few minutes ago, which is Honeywell. Honeywell International was awarded a contract for the Saudi Arabia shipyards. It's a nice sign for business for ticker HON, Honeywell. That ADP report came out. The private sector is returning to job growth in January. In December, it started to tail off a little bit. So this is positive for Friday's non-farms payroll report.
One on Time Technologies, ticker TYME. It's just climbed 110% in pre-market. And so the reason being it was granted U.S. patent claims covering the use of time to treat COVID-19 infections. So apparently it's effective for that. One on Nano Vibronics, ticker NAOV. It's just regained NASDAQ compliance. One on Box, ticker BOX. They've just made Sign Request a wholly owned subsidiary. Another one on the same topic. It looks like it was for an aggregate purchase price of $55 million. One on a company that's set to become public, Payoneer, through FTAC Olympus. So that's ticker FTOCU. It looks like it's going to be an acquisition combination priced at $3.3 billion. It's the entity that it'll become, the enterprise value.
Ticker MBRX. These guys just announced the pricing of the $67.8 million underwritten public offering. The offering price is at $4.75. The stock's at $4.99. So, it's already down 21%, but it still has a little more to go down.
Yeah, I got to say, that might be an interesting one to look at, by the way, on Olympus acquisition. That's a really big enterprise value price, $3.3 billion. Traders, if you're listening to that, maybe want to check out. Anything else interesting for you, Bill?
No, that's all I'm seeing.
Same here. Well, that'll do it for us as far as what's hot off the press. But traders, keep in mind that you can receive these same breaking stories just like us simply by subscribing at newsware.com. Check us out for a free trial today. It will definitely up your trading game. Moving into our scoreboard, talking about how our picks did from Tuesday, I had Brookfield Infrastructure. That's ticker BIP. It opened at $52.20 and went steadily up to the market high of $54.03 before closing at $53.67 for a 2.81% gain at the close. Pretty much anywhere you bought in, that was going to go up that day. So it was a really good run for for Brookfield. Nice and consistent. Second pick was Bristol Myers, ticker BMY. It opened at $61.91 and quickly shot up to its highest level with the 64 range, where it stayed for more than 2 hours from 10 till about 12:20, 12:10. So after that, it fell back down to what it closed at around $62.94. However, if you got in at the open and out at the market high at around 64.56, you were looking at a 4.28% gain. However, if you took it till the close, you still came up about 1.66%. So everyone's a winner, and these were both pretty good picks today. What's yours end up looking like, Bill?
Well, I did Humana, ticker HUM. Earnings are coming out. I was expecting something positive, and they did deliver. I mean, yesterday morning the stock had opened up at 383.31, and within the first 30 minutes of trading, it hit 391.30 for a quick 2% return. If you held it into the earnings this morning, the stock actually hit 395 this morning in the pre-market, which would have made a 3% return. But Humana was a good winner yesterday.
Nice. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Trade Talk. But traders, you know what to do. Let's get out there. Let's make some green.